If you've watched Sarasota Tim's videos, you've probably noticed something missing from his channel. Not the editing skills, that's obvious. I'm talking about his 3 kids and any stories from Tim about what it was like to be a parent. And out of respect for their privacy, I'm not going to use his children's names here. They're all grown adults now, living their own lives. But when they were little, where was Sarasota Tim? When his daughter was young and learning to ride a bike, Tim had already moved to the other side of the country, gotten remarried, and was working at various car dealerships. When his oldest son was going through puberty and needed a male role model, Sarasota Tim had already flown the coop, driving his sandrails in the desert or riding Harleys across the country. When his youngest son was blowing out his birthday candles, Sarasota Tim had also exited his life, never to even acknowledge his very existence on his YouTube channel. Tim chose to live in a room in a dude's house or a cottage by himself, unencumbered by family, so he could party with his landlady. These are the moments that make up a childhood, and you only get one shot at those. Sarasota Tim had 3 chances and apparently blew every one of them. Sarasota Tim has hundreds of videos on his channel attempting to give a revisionist history of his life before YouTube. He's described his absenteeism by saying he was working, he needed his freedom, or he was just moving on. But here's the problem. Kids don't hit pause on their lives while you made the choice to find yourself. Their childhood kept moving, mostly without you. To Tim's 3 children, the hater community sees you and hears you. It was shitty growing up to have Sarasota Tim as a father. We can't pretend to know exactly what those years felt like for you, but we do know this. People know your dad now. Despite his best efforts at gaslighting everyone, his secrets came out. We see the empty seats at school events, birthdays without him, or even a gift, the milestones that went unshared, the failure to provide you with health or dental insurance, his inability to contribute to your education, the weddings with an empty seat, the unfair burdens placed on your moms, who didn't have a choice to take off and leave it to someone else to raise you. You didn't imagine it. You didn't exaggerate it. It happened, and it wasn't okay. Your childhood was harmed by a selfish dad who put his own life ahead of yours, who apparently chose drugs and alcohol, rage and greed, over being a father. But today you're seen. You're heard. The world now knows what he chose, and more importantly, what he lost. You deserved better. You still do. And if nothing else comes from this video, I hope you know this. His absence says nothing about your worth and everything about his failures as a father. The greatest harm done by Sarasota Tim wasn't defrauding $58,000 from the government with his EIDL loan scam, or sleeping with the wife of his friend, or even stealing the golf clubs from Johnny Vegas. It was walking away from his kids when they needed him the most. And he still doesn't get that. Today, Sarasota Tim cares more about his failing YouTube channel than anything else, even his children. He puts up hours of mindless videos a day on YouTube about nothing, while he begs for money from our seniors and chases a meaningless plaque. So, congrats, Tim. You got your freedom, your toys, and your channel. Too bad you traded in the only audience that ever really mattered.
And then Friday, I'm going to have lunch or dinner, undecided yet, with my son to celebrate his birthday, which was actually the 14th. He is 32 or 3. What did he tell me? I forget. I can't keep up with all these kids.